Now, on Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates.
What is it like seeing the car you own in a police chase and you're not in it?
Is this really happening?
Your car targeted by thieves at the airport. Patients walking out of assisted living facilities, putting their lives at risk. A man loses thousands of dollars to a concrete company. And parents fighting for their kids after alleged false positive drug tests.
Saying that I failed drug screens that I know I haven't used any drugs.
Property owners' land listed for sale without their consent. Atlanta News First investigates. Welcome to Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates, as we reveal problems and solutions impacting our community.
Some travelers who park at the airport are shocked to find an empty space when they return. Atlanta News First investigates the security measures in place to help protect your car.
Right turn.
At no point was I thinking that my car was going to be stolen.
What is it like seeing the car you own in a police chase and you're not in it?
Is this really happening?
2 males out of the car right now. Driver is taking off.
And do I even want this car? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be, what's it going to be like now? It could have been used in committing other crimes.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! No, we got both. We got both. They're two in custody.
Good job, guys.
You're one of the lucky ones. You got your car back.
And I'm so grateful for that.
West Clark was out of the country when his BMW was stolen from what he thought would be the safest place in Atlanta, the airport.
What do you think of the security at the airport in the parking garage?
I think that there isn't any real security at the airport in the parking garage.
Another car stolen in metro Atlanta.
More than 300 cars have been stolen from the Atlanta airport so far this year.
A stolen vehicle from the airport.
A trend at airports nationwide, from Philadelphia.
Some lawmakers blame the problem on lax security.
To the Honolulu airport. We requested theft data from dozens of airport police departments nationwide. 17 of the 18 that responded had spikes in auto thefts during the last 3 years. Denver saw the biggest jump. This theft ring stole pickup trucks from across Denver, including the airport, then used them to commit other crimes, in this case, stealing entire ATMs. More than 1,300 cars have been stolen from Denver's airport in less than 4 years.
For everyone else, this is a place to park while they're traveling. For a thief, it's like a shopping mall.
Correct.
Hondo Underwood should know.
How many cars in your auto theft career did you steal?
They say upwards of 200.
Arrested in 2017, the former Marine showed Denver police how he could steal a car in under 7 seconds.
People park luxury vehicles like a Rolls Royce, and you're leaving this $1 million vehicle parked in an underground parking garage while you're taking a flight somewhere.
Here at the Denver airport, car thieves use the snow to their advantage. It helps them pick which car to steal.
The vehicles that don't have snow are probably vehicles that just got here. Once they're in the airport, they're not coming back out for a while.
The Denver airport installed new cameras and added security. The airport went from nearly 700 cars stolen last year to fewer than 250 so far this year.
Not once have I seen a cop, an armed security guard, anything like that. This is definitely an easy place to find a target.
Your car taking a trip of its own while you are on vacation, and you come home to an empty parking spot.
Brendan, is there anything people can do to protect their cars?
Sierra, yes, there is. If your vehicle was taken, there may be a way to get it back. West Clark's BMW app alerted him there was a problem. He also had 2 AirTags in the car, one in the trunk, another one hidden in the body of the car. The thieves couldn't find that second device, which helped police locate the car and arrest the suspects.
You can get more impactful investigations like this sent right to your phone. Subscribe to our weekly investigative newsletter. Just text newsletter to 470-777-WANF. A woman with dementia was found dead after walking away from her assisted living facility. Atlanta News First Investigates found over 1,000 nursing homes across the country cited for life-threatening violations.
Right now, there's a search on for a missing 89-year-old woman in Marietta.
She's an assisted living resident, but she cannot be located.
Police say this woman, Patricia Mealy, left her assisted living facility on Whitlock Avenue.
We've done a full sweep of the property, and we cannot locate this resident.
A call for help this past November to find a beloved grandmother who vanished from Greenwood Place, an assisted living facility. Karen Phillips is Patricia's daughter.
She's like, what happened?
Garrett is her son-in-law.
That's a pretty big, basic foundation of their job is don't lose our mother.
After nowhere to be seen for 2.5 days, police get the call everyone feared.
We begin with breaking news out of Marietta. A tragic end to a desperate search.
Patricia's body discovered in this pond inside Kennesaw Memorial Park, a cemetery less than a mile from the facility where she went missing. Investigate TV spoke to Patricia's family just hours after they identified her body.
Someone knows what really happened. Someone who was on site there that night knows what he or she did or did not do.
The operator of Greenwood Place, Terabella Senior Living, declined interview requests, but in a statement said, "We're fully cooperating with law enforcement and providing unnecessary information to support their efforts." An investigation by Investigate TV uncovered Patricia's disappearance. Something regulators call elopement is one of hundreds that have happened at assisted living facilities and nursing homes across the country. According to an analysis of ProPublica's nursing home inspection data, from 2020 to August 2024, state health officials cited at least 1,100 nursing homes for serious elopement violations. That includes this 88-year-old Arkansas woman who died after walking away from her facility in 2021, one day after she was admitted. This elderly South Carolina man found dead in a pond after wandering away from his facility in 2022. And this woman in Arizona who died from heat exposure after walking away from her memory care home.
Someone found her body in a canal 2 miles away.
Andy, staffing is always the issue. It's always the issue.
Attorney Mike Prieto specializes in nursing home litigation and represents Patricia Mealy's family.
You see high turnover rates, and you see the pay just barely above the poverty line. And you can't have continuity of care when you have a constant turnover of these care providers.
According to SeniorLead.com last year, an industry think tank, Georgia ranked as the third worst state in the nation for elder care staffing. To address the problem, the Biden administration proposed federal staffing mandates in 2023, including requiring at least one registered nurse working 24/7 at each facility. The proposed federal staffing mandates are still pending. A family mourning the loss of their matriarch, desperate for answers.
We think someone ought to be held accountable, and we can't imagine this happening to anybody else.
The Georgia Department of Community Health later cited Greenwood Place with several violations following Patricia's death. A state inspection found the facility failed to provide adequate staffing, ensure proper security measures, and follow emergency procedures.
A man reached out to Atlanta News First Investigates after paying a concrete company thousands of dollars to lay a foundation for his garage. The contractor vanished with his deposit, and he lost even more trying to settle the dispute.
It's just a very cool old car. My dad was really into old cars. And
Javier Ochoa has a great excuse to build out his garage. Look at this. He scored a 1941 Ford Standard. Look at that engine and the original taillights. He's restoring it for its next bank heist.
Clearly, I need to clean it up.
A getaway car like this demands its own space. And this is it. Javier hired a concrete company to make space for a new garage and a weekend destination.
And I'm going to build a little area for, my friends to hang out, talk cars.
He says the guys who did this were great, and this would be the end of the story if Ochoa hired them to begin with, but he didn't. Ochoa says he's been trying for 6 months to get the original company he hired, Concrete Driveway CO, also known as Madewell Concrete, to refund his money. He gave them a $5,400 deposit, signed a detailed contract, and received nothing.
So unfortunately, after I sent them the money, the next day he came out and said, look, if we want to do this right, it's going to cost an extra $2,000.
When he asked for more, Ochoa killed the deal. Concrete Driveway CO's manager sent this text confirming a refund is due. But months later, the company blocked his calls.
I liked him.
This is one of 2 reviews on its website, but you know what's not? A business address. Although Concrete Driveway CO claims to be the #1 contractor in Atlanta with 7,000 satisfied customers. Oh yeah, and in Jacksonville and Greenville, Charlotte, and Birmingham. Wow, these guys are big. They must have a local office.
All right, so we looked up the business address, and it shows that it's somewhere between this building here and that building way over there, which means it's right there.
The address is a creek, but Atlanta News First Investigates confirmed the owner, Kevin T. Johnston, is from Greenville, South Carolina.
So this is Madewell Concrete's Instagram page.
His other business, Madewell Concrete, has a track record of lawsuits with similar complaints from customers and subcontractors who say they weren't paid. As a last resort, Ochoa called an arbitration firm listed on the contract. He paid them $950.
And what did they do for $950?
Make a few phone calls.
After we got involved, the mediation firm had a change of heart and issued a $950 refund. That's a start.
I think it was well done.
The foundation for Javier's 1941 Ford Standard awaits. But because of the lost deposit, the garage itself is on hold. Unless... he could use the car as an alternate source of income. It does look like a getaway car, right?
A little bit past the gangster eras, there was a lot of rum running at the time, and it's possible.
To dig deeper into this investigation and others from Atlanta News First Investigates, listen to our Behind the Investigation podcast, available now wherever you listen.
After years of staying sober, a mom is fighting to get back custody of her kids, but now positive drug screens put her parental rights in jeopardy. Atlanta News First investigates a specialized drug test that could minimize the claims of false positives. Deidreana Hefner wants to cut right to the chase. There's no point in hiding these mugshots.
I needed to get arrested to have that long, clear frame of mind.
A Cherokee County mom with an addiction that caused intervention from the Georgia Division of Family and Children's Services, known as DFACS. The state agency placed her 2 kids in foster care October 2021. To get her kids back, Deidreana agreed to random drug screens. Nearly 3 years of sobriety, except her drug tests don't show that.
Flabbergasted, honestly, and I was like, how is that even possible?
Hair follicle drug test results from DFAC's subcontracted labs show multiple times she tested positive for drugs.
Saying that I failed drug screens that I know I haven't used any drugs.
So at the advice of her attorney and even her mom, Deidreana began getting tested at independent labs too.
Ours is negative and theirs is saying positive.
State subcontracted labs showing positive for meth. Independent labs showing negative. Atlanta News First Investigates uncovered credibility issues with 2 of the largest labs subcontracted to do drug screens for DFACS. The labs are Aver Health and Expertox. Lawsuits around the country show a history of false positive allegations. Expertox, DFACS records show their lab did not typically perform a specialized drug test called DL isomer. It would identify legal drugs like medicine versus illicit drugs. Although not required by the state, it could help minimize claims of false positives. And Aver Health, for years, the lab company actually held contracts directly with the state to exclusively do all drug screens for DFACS. That exclusive statewide contract was not renewed renewed again last year. This after records reveal long-standing concerns from caseworkers. A Defects County director reporting a 2019 case of an alleged false negative, calling it a safety issue for a child, writing, "We rely on drug screen results to be accurate. We received an erroneous negative on the mother. It was a key factor in returning a child to the mother." Avra Health called the results a keying error due to manual entry. Drug tests, which helped decide the fate of families like Deidreana's. Her 2 kids remain in foster care.
Sorry. It's been heartbreaking, really, because not only have my choices affected them and I've had to see what they've gone through, but I've done everything that I've needed to do to fight to get them back, and it's all of my efforts have failed.
All signs point to her sobriety, says peer mentor Christina Carter. Not only is Christina certified in addiction recovery, but she's also the co-founder of Moms Adopting Moms, a local organization that helps parents with defects cases get back on their feet.
Because I'm not supposed to be invested in these things emotionally, but how could you not, right? I couldn't imagine.
Should drug tests alone determine the outcome of parental rights?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, they are one tool.
Former defects director Tom Rawlings reacting to our findings.
Not only our state child welfare system, but I think other states, we need to look at how we're using these tests.
Fake listings, sham sellers, and fraudulent contracts. Property owners in a rural Georgia county are discovering scammers trying to sell their land right out from under them.
Just land. A lot of land.
It's a lot of land.
20.65 acres.
In Barnesville, Georgia.
I purchased the land in 1996.
While stationed at the former Fort Gillum, 31-year-old Army Sergeant Tracy Quintella Brown saw this land as her future.
My plan was once I retired that I would build my retirement home on this land.
Now about 1 year away from that dream,
I started to do the research to see what was in the area because I don't do much cooking.
While looking at restaurants near her vacant property, a Zillow ad popped up.
I don't know why or how because I didn't put it up for sale.
Her entire life's dream listed for $175,000.
The realtor company didn't give me any information at all.
Then she saw she had a voicemail, and when she called the man back,
he said something like, "We got a contract on your lot."
Her name was electronically signed on the contract. The contact number wasn't her phone, and whoever this was didn't even spell her name right in the email address.
It's our pleasure to meet you.
We found Edward Turner, the man who left the voicemail. He lives next door to Brown's property and wanted to buy her land to build a pond for his son. To his surprise, the seller accepted $75,000 less than asking.
This is that night where they say congratulations.
Turner was just hours away from wire transferring $100,000 to who he thought was Brown when she returned his call.
Had I not received that call, we wouldn't have known that it was fraud until possibly weeks later.
But it isn't just Brown's property. Atlanta News First Investigates found several real estate agents across Lamar County who were seeing similar red flags with properties that they were listing for sale, like this one.
That is the fake driver's license.
Real estate agent Danny Turner says another realtor contacted him about a fake out-of-state driver's license from a seller, which prompted him to triple-check his listings.
The man that this guy was portraying was a friend of mine's uncle. And I called my friend, and he said, yeah, Uncle Gary's not selling his land.
Down the street, realtor Joseph Sims caught the same sham.
In Florida, your license number starts with your last initial.
This man's last name started with an M, but the number started with an O. Sims says he checked an online background database called Forewarn to verify the information, and when he called the number listed,
he says, that's my license that expired 4 years ago. That's not my picture.
Prior to September, we haven't had any real estate fraud cases ever. This is the first time.
The Lamar County Sheriff's Office confirmed they're investigating at least 7 fraudulent property listings from August through October, including a report from the county tax assessor's office stating someone filed fraudulent deeds on 4 vacant properties. In at least 2 cases, the sham seller said they were traveling to London for a wedding, but investigators don't think they even live in the U.S.
I'm just grateful that we made contact in time.
Now it's back to planning her dream home.
About 7 acres forward is where I picture it.
And maybe a small pond for her new neighbor.
That's on the backside, maybe.
For steps on how to protect your property from this sort of fraud, you can text VACANT to 470-777-WANF, and we'll send that information right to your phone.
We do this for you, uncovering the truth and holding the powerful accountable.
Thanks for watching Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates.